I am Jana Bosonko and this is QTV News coming to you live from our studios on Kayaba Avenue. Thanks for joining us and we do apologize for the late start. Here are our main news headlines. Following the invasion of Ukraine by Russian military forces, Professor Mohamedou M.O.Ka, Gambia's ambassador to the Swiss Federation and the Gambia's permanent mission to the UN office in Geneva, attended the United Nations Human Rights Council meeting on Friday to vote and share his thoughts on the crisis. As part of celebrations marking International Women's Day, which falls on 8 March, the Minister of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, Fatou Kinte, on Monday distributed sanitary materials to health facilities and the prison within the Greater Banjul area. At the Banjul City Council's second EU-funded town hall meeting, the Mayor of Banjul, Rohi Malik Low, on Saturday reiterated her commitment to addressing the development needs of the people of Banjul. In international news, Ghana marked 65 years of independence on Sunday, March 6, 2022, signaling country's independence from British colonial rule in 1957. Those were our main headlines, and now the news in detail. Do stay with us. Thank you for joining us. I am Jana Bosonko and you're watching QTV News. Once again, we apologize for the late start. Now, following the current invasion of Ukraine by Russian military forces, the United Nations Human Rights Council met on Friday to discuss the setting up of a commission of inquiry to investigate violations committed during the Russia's military attack on Ukraine. Professor Mohamedou M.O.Ka, Gambia's ambassador to Swiss and the Gambia's permanent mission to the UN office in Geneva, was there to vote and share his thoughts on the crisis. Annabelle Gay has the rest of that story.
On Friday, March 4th, the United Nations Human Rights Council in Geneva voted to establish a commission to investigate possible human rights violations arising from Russia's invasion of Ukraine. In addition, they urged the withdrawal of Russian troops and Russian-backed armed groups from Ukraine and for humanitarian access to those in need. 47 countries debated setting up the commission, including the Gambian ambassador, Professor Mohamedou M.O.Ka. He expressed disapproval of Russia's attack against Ukraine, saying the situation is disheartening and has caused a loss of human rights.
The Gambia is disturbed with the far-reaching implications of such acts to the global community. Multilateralism, sovereignty, territorial integrity, and our collective humanity is provoked in bounds that we have never experienced for a very long time. We're losing children, we're losing women, we're losing elderly. Rhetoric is not going to restore our humanity.
Commission of Inquiry's mandate covers investigation of all alleged rights violations and abuses and implementing measures to stop them. Russia and Eritrea, the only African country to do so, voted against it, and 13 countries abstained, including Cameroon, Gabon, and Namibia. However, Gambia and Senegal voted in favor of the commission, together with 30 other countries, forming the majority vote. As a result, the Council in Geneva agreed to establish the commission. The commission is tasked with investigating all alleged violations and abuses of human rights and violations of international humanitarian law and related crimes. In the context of the Russian Federation's aggression against Ukraine, and to establish the facts, circumstances, and root causes of any such violations and abuses, and to make recommendations in particular on accountability measures, all with a view to ending impunity and ensuring accountability. The UN Human Rights Council confirmed 802 civilian casualties in Ukraine during the first week of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Among those casualties, 249 were killed and 553 injured. On conclusion of the vote, First Counselor from the Russian delegation, Evgeny Ustinov, in his speech rejection of the vote, stated, "We hope that all those present here, including the diplomats and UN representatives, will finally recall those thousands of people who have been killed and maimed by the authorities in Ukraine. And these are the people in Donbass. Reporting for QTV News, I'm Annabelle Gay.
Moving on, as part of celebrations marking International Women's Day, which falls on 8th March, the Minister of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, Fatou Kinte, on Monday distributed sanitary materials to health facilities within the Greater Banjul area and Mile 2 Prison. Lola M. Kamara was with the delegation and she now reports.
International Women's Day is celebrated annually on 8 March to give women a platform to take stock of social, economic, cultural and political achievements. In line with this year's theme, Breaking the Bias, the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare is embarking on a week-long activity to support health facilities and prisons across the country with sanitary materials, food and non-food items. The Minister for Gender, Children and Social Welfare, Fatou Kinte, says this year her ministry, with support from the First Lady, Fatoumata Bah Barrow, and other partners, are able to reach out to these institutions and give support to the women at the labor ward of Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital and Mile 2 women inmates.
This year, because of COVID, we said let's make it low-key. Low-key in the sense that on the 8th of March, we invited a few women to our office and hand over checks to them as beneficiaries of the Women Enterprise Fund. But then today we have chosen to go around a number of public institutions, the hospitals and the prisons, to give support. The hospitals give support to the women who have just delivered. These are those at the maternity wing and the labor wards of the hospitals.
Receiving the items at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, Dr. A. Keita and Anna Taro, Commissioner commanding female prisoners at Mile 2 Prison, both thanked the First Lady and the Gender Ministry for their foresight in helping these institutions.
These gifts are very important, not only their content, but also remembering the women who are admitted here. If people are sick, if you are sick, no matter what knowledge you have, if everybody abandon you, your recovery will be slow, even if they give you medicine. And then even the psychological stress is too much. So coming to the hospital to tell the women that we are with you, seeing them, it goes a long way.
I would like to thank you for this kind gesture, because you could have simply taken it somewhere else, but you remembered us. May Allah gives you the will to continue such a worthy cause. Marianne Garmi Jabang, Director of Gender Equality and Women Empowerment at the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, encouraged women to continue doing the great work.
My message is basically for all women, not just Gambian women and non-Gambian women alike. We're celebrating you all month. We're proud of you, and we hope you continue to really work hard, because that's all you do on a daily basis. Whether we recognize it because it's International Women's Day or not, you are exceptional, you are valued, and of course you are celebrated.
From Mile 2 Central Prison, the team proceeded to Bundum Maternal and Child Health Hospital and the Brikama Health Center, where similar presentations were done. Happy Women's Day. Reporting for QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
Happy International Women's Day. Let's break the bias. Now, the Mayor of Banjul, Rohi Malik Lowe, Saturday reiterated her commitment to addressing the development needs of the people of Banjul. She was speaking at the Council's second EU-funded town hall meeting in Banjul Central, and Sumana Isonyasi was there and he fast on this report.
Saturday's event is in fulfillment of the Local Government Act, which requires elected local government authorities such as the mayor to at least once each year meet with constituents to dialogue and assess firsthand the progress as well as impact of council's development projects. This is the second such town hall meeting, having held one 2 weeks ago in Banjul South. The meeting gave residents an opportunity to interact directly with Mayor Lowe and senior officials of council and ask questions as well as raise concerns regarding their development needs. Reacting to some of the questions, she thanked the people of Banjul Central for their continued support to her administration and reiterated her unwavering commitment to addressing their development needs.
Bolen ma maye rek bala ñoo xuus ci laajte yi ma wax leen tuuti bi nga xamee ne bi ñëwee yokkute bi nga xam ne moo am Banjul City Council ak texa bi nga xam ne moom moo am Banjul City Council.
Banjul City Council, like any other institution, is also confronted with many challenges. Notwithstanding, we have been able to achieve many success stories, especially in implementing projects that address your development needs.
Like in Banjul South, similar concerns such as opportunities for young people, the indiscriminate parking of trucks in streets across the city, the current state of the football pitch, alleged unfair distribution of development projects, and allegations of abuse of office, amongst others, were raised during Saturday's meeting in Banjul Central. These allegations were dismissed as false and misleading by the mayor, who again stressed that developing Banjul and building strong institutions for the future of the city remains at the heart of Council's development agenda.
ñi nga xam ne ñoo jàpp ci wàlli mbalit bi ak ñi nga xam ne ñoo jàpp ci wàlli wala luwe troc ñooñu ñu ngi toog te bëgg naa loolu ñu ñëw leeral ko fii parce que Modou Diatta li mu wax dafa ne mbalit bi dañ luwe ay troc mu ne.
We will investigate addressing these genuine concerns you have raised. The Director of Planning is here, and he will investigate the issue of trucks parking indiscriminately on our streets. The Half-Die Football Park is and will remain the property of the people of Banjul. I have not authorized its sale, nor am I aware of it being sold to the GPA or anyone. That is not true. It is misleading information. No one will sanction the sale of the city's assets, not while I am mayor. Rest assured that your interest is my interest.
Saturday's event was supported by the EU-funded Austin Banjul CityLink project under its governance component, which seeks to strengthen Council's governance structure. Similar meetings are expected to be held in other parts of the city in the coming weeks. Antoine Esonyasi for KTV News.
From that story on Banjul City Council's Town Hall meeting, we will now go for a short commercial break, and when we come back, we have some more local news stories for you. Do stay tuned.
Modu came in to buy some bathroom floor tile, but once he laid eyes on our basins, he fell in love with a stunning basin and with a breathtaking faucet. With a brand new mirror too, at a bargaining price.
So, I got a bathtub too.
Oh yes, he picked up a bathtub too.
It's Batty Days time at Batty-Mats. Enjoy exceptional discounts up to 70% on all our product families. From March 5th to 19th, you're going to splurge. Batty-Mats, everything for construction, from foundation to finishing.
ñu bari dañuy bédi xalé duñ bëgga pour am dugalante ak wala jëflante ak ñom parce que soo waxee dañ la ne gisoo ki ni mel looy def ak moom loo am affaire ak moom.
jigéen yu am manqué nii si boppam su dañ dee fiis loo xam ne lu métti la tamit waaw.
bu rombee dañ ko naan dof bi Abdoulaye da dof la mu ngi ñëw daf dee dugg si këri jàmm sa dañ ko dee daaxal.
dañ leen war a jàppale téye leen comme duñ téye yeneen nit yi ñëpp ñu emale leen su boobaa lu yëpp dafa yomba.
bugga naa société bi wecci seen jëfin ak ni ñuy comportement si xale yi ñu mun a ànd ak xale yi nekk benn. bugg naa mu sëy.
ñi nga xam ne nag dañu am façon doom yi bëri nañ nangu ñoo génne seen doom yi te leen war a génne yàlla def na dem na Dubaï indi fa médaille mu dem Égypte moo jël force sant naa yàlla bu mu bëri.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV News, and I am Jenna Basonko. Now, a check for just over $90,000 to purchase 6 showing machines was presented to the Organization for Social Development and Inclusion for Persons with Disability by the Gambia Ports Authority, GPA, last Monday. Well, Ajibin Tudame, rather, has the rest of that story.
A check was presented to the Director of the Organization for Social Development and Inclusion for Persons with Disability on Monday to purchase the machines to empower persons with disabilities. Yankuba Mane, Communications Officer of the Gambia Ports Authority, says this gesture part of GPA's contribution to inclusive national development.
one indication that the Gambia Ports Authority is very much, active in supporting the disability community in this country. It's one of the many supports that we've been rolling out to ensure that persons with disability in the Gambia are also not left behind, but they are included in the socio-economic development of this country.
The presentation is among series of aid given to the organization. Mr. Mane added that he hopes the equipment will be utilized diligently and give an assurance that their doors are open to assist such organizations, as they are an equally significant part of society.
The Gambia Ports Authority and its management, they are always here for supporting the persons with disability anytime the need arises. And we do hope these machines here will go a long way towards empowering and, of course, equipping these particular members of the community with life skills, because we know sewing machines, they are important. They can be used and utilized judiciously to ensure that the life of these people who, in quote-unquote, many perceive to be neglected in our society.
Yankuba Amadou Fall Sonko, the Director of Organization for Social Development and Inclusion for Persons with Disability, thanked the GPA for their laudable support.
Calling for other companies to emulate the footstep of ports. We have a lot of companies here, but what ports is contributing on the welfare of persons with disability in this country, we don't see any organization like Port.
Mr. Fall Sonko further explains the constraints the organization faces.
The challenges normally we face here, like you see the center, we are without a vehicle. It is very, very difficult for our people to transport themselves here. And even after classes, to take themselves back home too. Like on the road, it is so crowded. Some of them would be here up to 7, 8 before they will get vehicles to go home. Sponsorship too. They need to go to universities from trading these computers. Some of them go to tertiary institution, so that if they have laptop, something like that, it can help them to facilitate their work. Without that too, it's very difficult.
The Organization for Social Development and Inclusion for Persons with Disability was established in 2011 to empower persons with disability in education and skills training. Ajibintu Drame, QTV News.
Brilliant initiative there by the Gambia Ports Authority. Now, Lumo Day in Birkamaba is a weekly Saturday market at which farmers and other vendors sell produce directly to customers. The market attracts many people from the village and the surrounding settlements. Bakari Balde visited the market and he fastened this report.
The bustling Saturday market starts as early as 6 a.m. and lasts until 6 p.m. It is a perfect place to buy, sell, window shop or enjoy the exceptional foods sold throughout the day. On Lumo Day, many can be seen buying and selling goods, while others offer their services to earn income. Ibrahim Boy, a young entrepreneur who owns a shop, says the business is improving but not as expected.
Business is very slow, things are expensive and customers are always complaining because they don't understand. Everybody knows how difficult business is.
Fatu Toure from Fuladu Das Lame narrates the challenges she encounters as a retailer who gets her goods from Senegal.
What we want is for the government to help us with transportation. If we have a truck that can take us to Senegal and back, it will reduce our expenses to Senegal.
Said Boy, a groundnut farmer and trader from Boyram village, says the business is not booming due to lack of customers. He urges government's intervention to address issues affecting the groundnut business. Babukar Gay from Serekunda travels to Brikamba every Saturday to sell fabrics. He explains what is affecting his business.
If the farmers get what they want, we will also get what we want, because the country can develop through agriculture. This year, the groundnuts weigh less, but the price is better compared to countries like Senegal.
Brikamba is a small town in the Gambia, located in Lower Flood West District, in the Central River region, with an estimated population of a little over 10,000. After a long day of bargaining, buying and selling at this busy market, people will finally return home late in the evening using private and public transport, horse and donkey carts, anticipating another profitable day at next week's Lumu. Reporting for QTV News, I am Bakari Balde.
Now on to some sad news as a 34-year-old mother living in Willingara in the West Coast region needs urgent overseas medical treatment after being diagnosed with an end-stage renal disease. Fude Mane visited her at her home and he files in his report.
A medical report from the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital states Rugiatu Jallo had been suffering from end-stage renal disease and is currently on hemodialysis 3 times a week. End-stage renal failure, also known as end-stage renal disease, is the final, permanent stage of chronic kidney disease, where kidney function has declined to the point the kidneys can no longer function on their own. Rugiatu Jallo, a mother of 4, said she finds it hard to eat after having her dialysis and explained other challenges she faces.
Depuis 2017, maybe one of the jibinde, maybe one.
I have had this sickness since 2017 when I was in labor. My husband has gone bankrupt because of helping me. I have difficulty in breathing, sleeping, and even drinking water. I need help. I have children and my husband is not working. He is taking care of me. We are renting here and unable to pay our rent. We'll soon be kicked out. We are really struggling.
Rugiatu also talked about the difficulties she faces with her children during this difficult time.
My elder daughter has dropped out of school to help me with housework. One of my 3 children had a scholarship, but that person has stopped calling and sending money. My daughter has now been sent home for not paying her school fees. The little one is going to a public school, and he also goes to school without lunch. The other one is 10 years old, but she's also not going to school because we are struggling to even have food to eat.
Idrissa Sanyang is Rugiatu's husband. He explained the hardship he is going through to help his wife. It is very hard and painful on us, but we thank Allah as He is the reason for everything. Since she got this sickness, this is how we are. We spend 2 days at the hospital whenever we visit there. It is so tiring and difficult. We need support for her medical treatment, which will give peace of mind to everyone in the family. I will also be able to work and take good care of the family. Idrissa also shared this disheartening story they encountered while seeking help for his wife's treatment.
Understand because last time
we had someone who wanted to support one of our children's education, but when that was happening, another person went on social media to post my wife's old picture before she got the disease when she was healthy. Because of this, the potential sponsor changed his mind. We have tried to know the person who did this, but to no success. We now leave everything with Allah. Rugiatu has spent 5 years with this disease, and she has now been advised to seek overseas medical treatment in India, where it has been established she will receive the necessary treatment. Anyone wanting to support Rugiatu can call QTV on 3333 245 or email us at news@qtv.gm. Reporting for QTV News, I am Fude Mane.
We wish her a speedy recovery. Now let's take a look at news beyond our borders. Ghana marks 65 years of independence on Sunday, March 6, 2022, signaling the country's independence from British colonial rule in 1957. Walking together, bouncing back together is the theme for this year's celebration. Yaya Jawa has the rest of that.
On 6 March 1957, Ghana became the first African country south of the Sahara to gain independence from colonial rule under its founding Prime Minister and later President Kwame Nkrumah. Ghana's independence served as catalyst for other African countries to form independence movements, leading to many countries gaining their independence from colonialism a few years after. Ghana's current president, Nana Akufo-Addo,
government officials and diplomats gathered at the Cape Coast Stadium to celebrate the event. Carnivals, parades, and other activities were held across the country to mark the anniversary. During his address, the president says his government is prepared to continue protecting the territorial integrity, peace and security of Ghana despite the instability in the West African sub-region. He called on citizens to rally behind the government for the development of the country, adding that their efforts at transforming the country's economy and laying the foundation for the progress and prosperity of Ghana would be fruitless if Ghanaians fail to secure its borders to ensure their own freedom is guaranteed. President Akufo-Addo also lamented the growing terrorist attacks from the Sahel region towards the southern coastal states, urging Ghanaians to cooperate with the security services in protecting the country from internal and external aggression. The U.S. government, through its Secretary of State, Antony J. Blinken, congratulated Ghana on its Independence Day anniversary. He said in a statement that the American government values the long-standing partnership between the United States and Ghana, which has advanced the two countries' mutual economic, security, public health, human rights, and democratic governance interests. The Russian President Vladimir Putin was among other heads of states that congratulated Ghana on its 65th Independence Day anniversary to the Russian embassy in Ghana. He expressed hope that the bilateral relations and partnership between Russia and Ghana will meet the interest of the people of the two countries, which can strengthen the peace and security on the African continent. Putin's congratulatory message came days after Russia launched an attack on Ukraine, causing instability in Ukraine. Reporting for QTV News, I am Yahya Jao.
Happy Independence Anniversary to Ghana. I'm afraid that is all we have time for. Join us at 10 for another bulletin. Thanks for watching.